go. Today we're going to be talking about 5 signs you have chronic depression. Y'all know what chronic is, right? That's the word of the day, chronic. Chronic mostly is referred to illness. So y'all know when y'all hear somebody say they got chronic pain or reoccurring injury, something that's ongoing oftentimes. So persisting for a long time or constantly reoccurring, chronic. Saying of the day, if you're early, you'll never be late. Makes sense to me. This talk is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional guidance, advice, treatment, or diagnosis. If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health crisis, substance use or abuse, or suicidal thoughts, dial 988. 988 is available 24/7 nationwide and staffed by trained crisis counselors who are just a text or a call away. 5 signs you have chronic depression. When most of us think of depression, we often think of major depressive disorder. That's what most of us think about. MDD, major depressive disorder, where depression symptoms occur in episodes ranging from weeks to months. So you're having your episode. All right. However, did you know that depression can persist for longer periods of time? Did y'all know that? Yes. Depression can go on for 2 or more years. I'm talking about there's no relief. Constantly depressed to the point where their depression now feels normal. Symptoms occur in episodes ranging from weeks to months. However, did you know that depression can persist in long periods of time where symptoms last over the course of 2 or more years without any relief at all? So 5 signs you have chronic depression. What we're talking about is PDD. PDD is chronic depression. That's 2 years or more. We're not talking about MDD, major depressive disorder, because that ranges from weeks to months. So we want to focus on PDD because we're talking about 5 signs you have chronic depression, persisting for a long time or constantly reoccurring. So that's what we're talking about today. Number 1, that you have chronic depression, you have a depressive personality. Your personality is that of depression. You eat, sleep, drink, and breathe depression. You have a depressive personality. People like this generally have a depressive, pessimistic, meaning they're always looking for the bad things to happen or looking on the bad side of things, pessimistic personality, and have a generally depressed mood. Those with persistent depressive disorder can be described as having a depressive personality. And if they have PDD, they may experience depression symptoms over the course of many years that start to feel like the norm for them. Remember that your display of depressive symptoms are not your fault at all, and that you have a little control over your personality when experiencing PDD. So if you're experiencing PDD, don't beat up on yourself because you really don't have control at this point. You need a therapist to help walk you through that thing, to unpack it and to walk you through that, because now you're out of control with it. 5 signs you have chronic depression. Number 2, you have little relief from depressive symptoms, which mean, and that's everything that's about persistent depressive disorder. You have no relief from the depression. People like this feel like depressive symptoms are persistent and that they rarely experience relief from them, while those with major depressive disorder, that's what we talked about up here, major depressive disorder may feel normal for long periods of time. This is the milder depressive disorder. The major depressive disorder, they have some relief. It occurs in episodes ranging from weeks to months. Whereas persistent depressive disorder, and I know I'm throwing around a lot of words, so I'm trying to do it where it's not confusing, trying to bring it to you in such a way that I don't confuse you, because if I confuse you, that's my fault. I gotta meet you where you're at. All you gotta really remember is major depressive disorder is basically something that happens in episodes and it ranges from weeks to months. And then the other one, PDD, which is persistent depressive disorder, is defined by a continuous depressed mood that occurs for at least 2 years. Basically, if you could keep that in mind, it won't be as confusing. But I'm gonna try to go slow, and I'm gonna try to be as easygoing as I can, because I understand. Because when I was writing it all down, I was like, wow. I was sitting there like, I don't know if I'm gonna do this one. It's got a lot of big words just throwing around. So, but I think y'all can handle it. I got faith in you fellas. I got faith, man. So let's go back. You have little relief from depressive symptoms. So people like this feel like their depressive symptoms are persistent and that they rarely experience relief from them, while those with major depressive disorder may feel normal for long periods of time between depressive episodes. Those with PDD almost always experience an underlying feeling of depression regardless of when they experience depressive episodes, and it may be represented as a dark cloud that won't go away regardless of how bright or sunny your life may seem. If you never feel complete relief from your symptoms in between depressive episodes for multiple years, you may also have persistent depressive disorder. What they're saying is, these people, even when good things are happening in their life, they're still depressed. They're never happy, no matter what the situation is. They have no relief. They're always constantly depressed and down. 5 signs you have chronic depression. Number 3, you can't recall when you first became depressed. You don't even know when it started at this point. It's just been there always. When did you start feeling depressed? Oh, I don't know. I've just always been depressed. No, you ain't always been depressed. But if you can't pinpoint it, you probably got chronic depression. You can't recall when you first became depressed. People like this experience depression symptoms and have trouble recalling when they first became depressed because the symptoms of PDD are often less severe than those of MDD and usually occur for a period greater than 2 years. Those with PDD often struggle to recall when their depression even began, and their depressive symptoms may feel baked in as a part of their life due to the chronic, mild, and moderate depression severity of the disorder. And as a result, there may not be an obvious shift from a normal to depressed state in your life or their life. The state of depression may feel like the norm to you. So people who can't recall when they first became depressed, these are people who depression is normal. Feeling down is normal. When you come up with something that's good going on, they're going to tell you that it ain't going to work. They're going to tell you it's not that good. They don't have anything good to look forward to. They don't have anything good to talk about. Being depressed is normal to them. When you are smiling, they say, what you smiling about? When you happy, what you happy about? That's them. 5 signs you have chronic depression. Number 4, every day feels like a bad day. The minute they wake up, it's a bad day. They haven't got started yet. They haven't combed their head, brushed their teeth, washed their face yet, but it's a bad day already. Even if I wake up, bro, and I'm feeling tired, probably because I didn't go to bed early enough and I got up early, probably because there may be something on my mind or something that I'm dealing with. By the time I get out the shower, I'm good. People like this know the day is going to suck as soon as they open their eyes, as soon as they wake up. And they be living in a depressed mood, feeling hopeless, and that their life will never get any better. One of the most defining symptoms of PDD is a low, sad mood on most days and a persistent feeling of sadness or loss of interest in hobbies or daily activities. Those with PDD have little to no relief from their symptoms and often experience a lingering sense of depression that almost never allows the day to feel enjoyable. Even when something good happens, they don't become happy because they've been depressed for so long that it feels normal. Man, prayers up, man. Anybody going through that, anybody experiencing that, prayers up to you, man. Anybody outside of this building who is experiencing that, prayers up, because the fact that I don't struggle with that, my heart still goes out to people who do, man, because that has to be living hell. 5 signs you have chronic depression. Number 5, you feel tired and unproductive. Uh-oh. Sound like a lot of people around here. People like this, let me take that back. I thought about it like, that's wrong, man. All right, let me take that back. I apologize. All right, so you feel tired and unproductive. People like this over the course of multiple years consistently have little energy throughout the day and feel unproductive and blame themselves for being lazy. Carrying out tasks they need to do, such as brushing their teeth, bathing, getting out of bed, or going grocery shopping, may seem insurmountable, like they can't accomplish them. And finding the energy to overcome these tasks can feel impossible. Those suffering from PDD may experience these symptoms over the course of multiple years and subsequently are critical on themselves for being unable to deal with various tasks. In addition, fatigue from depressive disorders may stem from irregular sleep patterns, including insomnia and hypersomnia. So your sleep patterns is going to play a part in that also. It's best, man, because look, man, you ain't going to never get over depression if you don't go to sleep. And depression is set up where it don't want you to go to sleep. Because when you go to sleep, that's when your mind starts to heal. When you go to sleep, that's when your mind rests and it gets to heal. But if you stay up because you got stuff on your mind and you can't stop thinking about and you can't turn your brain off, your depression ain't never going nowhere. Guaranteed. You can't get an 8 hours night's sleep. That's why people who get depressed or get down oftentimes have issues with their sleep. People who are going through anxiety, they worry about something. They worry about something. You might not even know what they worried about. I hope people don't find out that I'm running from the police. Oh man, I hope they don't find out I got a warrant out for my arrest. I hope the police don't knock on the door. Every day they wonder, I wonder if they gonna knock on the door. I wonder if the police coming. That's anxiety. That's what's keeping that person up every night. That's what the fear of the unknown is keeping that person up every night. And they depressed because they can't get no sleep. You go 3 or 4 days without sleep, and I guarantee you, you won't only be depressed. You're going to be lethargic, and you ain't even going to know who you are or where you going. Sleep is important for the mind. Not just the body, but the mind. If you want to calm your mind, get your butt some sleep. Go to bed. Don't let your mind keep you up at night. Don't let half the time when you sitting around in your bed or whatever you doing and your mind won't turn off, it's your past. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. You worried about your past. Or if you ain't worrying about the past, you worried about the future. And if you worried about the past, and if you worried about the future, guess what's suffering? Right now. That's the trick to it. Your depression wants to keep you in the future and keep you in the past. Because as long as it can distract you with the future, because you can't control the future. You don't know where you're going to be at in the future. And as long as it can distract you with something that's not here yet and distract you with something that you can't change, because you can't change the past. You can't go back there and change nothing. So you got to come to grips with it. And as long as it can keep you in those two spots, it can steal your right now. The enemy wants your right now. They don't care nothing about the past. That's already spent. That's done already. You can close the book on the past. We ain't guaranteed no future. All we got is right now. Because I can get in my car, head home, get into an accident, and that's it. That's it. Easily can happen. It's probably happening to some people. Ain't no probably. That's happening to some people right now. They driving to work and they're not gonna make it to work. That's the reality. So the thing is, what you got to do is let nobody or nothing distract you from your right now. Because if you ain't careful, if you ain't focusing on right now, and if you stuck in the past and you concentrating on the future, guess what's going to happen? 10 years going to go by and you ain't going to be nowhere you want to be. You'll be like, where did the time go? Where did it all go? Where's the time going? The time is getting ate up because you stuck in the past and you focus on the future and you worry about the future, stuff that ain't even happened yet. Come on, man. You got to be your own best friend in this life. That's what it is. If you ain't your own best friend and your number one fan, that's a problem. I don't understand people in their family who treat people, friends, better than they treat their family. Y'all ever heard somebody say that? Yeah. You ever known somebody like that? who would treat a friend better than they treat a family member? I don't know why they do that. I'm going to tell y'all why they do that. You don't want to know why? Because you family, but you ain't a friend. That went over some of y'all head. All right. 5 signs you have chronic depression. Number 1 was you have a depressive personality. Number 2 was you have little relief from depressive symptoms, which means you definitely got persistent depressive disorder, PDD. 5 signs you have chronic depression. Number 3, you can't recall when you first became depressed. Number 4, every day feels like a bad day to you. And the final one, you feel tired and unproductive all the time. Those are the signs of chronic depression.